Hi, my name is Jonathan Boyd, and this practice is called What's for Lunge. We'll do lunges for about 20 minutes using different styles, different variations. And the prime purpose is to warm up the body, heat up the legs, and create some fire. Fire to ultimately shift and transform. Please stand near the front of your yoga mat. Place your hands on your hips, bend your knees slightly, and hinge forward. Touch your fingertips to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step your left foot back behind you for a runner's lunge position. You'll hear a timer go off. I've set the timer for 45 seconds, just long enough to build a little bit of heat. But sometimes the 60-second timings can cause people to get quite angry. So having the feet separated quite widely so that your front thigh can get parallel to the floor. Keep your back leg straight and rise up onto fingertips instead of hands flat so that you make more space for your belly and chest to lift off of your thigh. In order to create more strength in your front leg, you can lift your toes to feel the muscles lift up from your ankles through your shins, through your knees. And then switch legs. Push off your back foot, step forward, and step your right foot back. So I know this one as runner's lunge position, keeping the back leg straight as best you can, bending into the front knee. Pull the hands energetically towards the back foot to push the crown of your head forward. Pull your feet towards each other to create strength in your legs and harness that strength and then push your feet in opposition of each other like you're extending out and trying to split your mat in two. I've seen people do that actually. It's quite impressive. Step your right foot forward, step your left foot back. Same but different. This time take your left hand out to the side and right hand to your knee. Begin to twist to your right. And I've always called this one and written it down as Anusara lunge because I learned it in Anusara. Reach your right arm up into the air. And then if you'd like to add a side body stretch, turn your palm forward and bring your arm over your ear. Stretch and lengthen. Reach out for a full expression of the pose. As you reach long with your right hand, tack your right hip back and extend back through your left heel. Then switch legs. There'll be lots of these switches. Right hand on fingertips, left hand to your knee. You're also welcome to go right hand flat on this. Twist fully towards the left. Keep the right leg, the back leg lifted as you descend into the front knee. And then arm up in the air. Or palm forward and then bicep over your ear. Reach and extend out. Use your breath, the inhale, to pull your feet towards each other. And then the exhale to extend long through your arms. Lower your hand, switch legs. Right foot forward, left foot back. This time rise up, place your hands to your hips. So more of a high lunge position, working towards getting the front thigh parallel to the floor, sitting lower, but keep your back heel lifted. Then lift your arms into cactus blades. In cactus blades, draw your elbows back towards your armpits so you feel a gentle embrace of your shoulder blades behind you, and then start to extend your arms straighter above you while maintaining that connection. Take one last deep breath in. And exhale, hands down. Step forward with your left. Step back with your right. Rise up again, hands to your hips. Pause to check your alignment. Square your hips to the front. Bend into your front knee. Keeping your back leg strong, puff up your chest. Bring your arms to cactus blades. I was in New Mexico a couple months ago, and I got to see quite a few cacti, plural for cactuses. Then, keeping your shoulder blades drawing towards each other, reach your arms upwards. And on an exhale, lower your hands down, step forward, step back. Same, but different. Start with your arms up, then join your hands together in front of your heart and twist to your right, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, keeping your back leg straight and strong. At any point, if you need to modify and bring your knee down, you're welcome to. We'll add the knee down lunge as a variation a little later. Notice that the further you twist, the more challenging it is to breathe. So that becomes a personal choice on how far do you twist. I used to try to twist a lot. Now untwist, switch legs, left foot forward, right foot back, arms up, hands together, twist to the left. One variation I like to do is make a fist with the lower hand and wrap the other hand over top, kind of like a ball and socket joint position. Just finishing my thought earlier, I used to twist quite a bit, twist like you're rinsing out a wet dishcloth, and then I had this sudden realization that my organs should be treated better than a wet dishcloth. And maybe twisting as deep as possible isn't necessarily the healthiest. Inhale, untwist, hands down, step forward, step back left, lower your knee to the floor, point your toes, and then reach your arms up into the air. This time, hold your right wrist with your left hand and arc over to the left. Push your right foot forward, drop your right hip down. Breathing deeply, using your inhale to come out of the pose slightly, and the exhale to venture further over to the left. Come back up, and then switch legs. One way you can switch here is just go back to all fours, and then left leg forward. A little bit simpler. Then hold your left wrist and arc over to the right, keeping your hips heavy, dropping your outer left hip down, lean over to the right, embrace the ebb and flow in and out of the pose. Okay, then hands down on an exhale. Step forward right, step back left. Not so long of a stance this time. Rise up, place both hands to your knees. And this is more of a bowspring variation of the lunge. So push your knees forward to move your hips back. Be in a position that you're actually ready to run. To me, this is more of the runner's lunge position. Like you're ready to run the 100-meter race. I thought I was really great at running, and then in grade 7 we had our school races, and it turns out I'm not that good. But being in a position where you're prepared to push off on the back foot. Okay, and then you don't even have to bring your hands down, just step forward and step back. Being in this position where you're ready to move. Last summer I got the privilege of traveling to Greece and was at the site of the original Olympic Games in Olympia. So I ran, it's almost more close to 200 meters, but I ran against one of my younger cousins, and it was pretty neck and neck until I got to a point where I thought I was going to pass out and wipe out face first into the ground. So that's the pinnacle of my running career right there. Okay, first side again, that short lunge position. It's about half the distance that I demonstrated earlier. And then this time, bend your elbows, touch your fingertips together for globe hands, so another bowspring maneuver. And then twist here. So it's about a quarter to a half the twist that you did earlier. And then to make this unsteady, lift your front heel away from the floor. I can promise you I'm going to do it. I'm not really. If you want to make it really challenging, close your eyes. My eyes are fully closed. Are yours? Are they? Are they? Keep your hands as they are as you transition. It's just as simple as left foot forward and right foot back. Then the elbows out to the sides. Twist towards the left. Keep the knees forward. Move your hips back. As you twist, option, lift your front heel. Another option, close your eyes. Okay, I am doing it this time. You know when you're doing it because you're constantly trying to not fall. Okay, then reopen your eyes. Push off the back foot. Step forward. Lift your left leg, point your toes, and bring the top of your foot down, your knee down, and then hands to the inside of your foot for lizard position. If you have the flexibility, come down onto your elbows. I brought a block just because it's a little bit easier for me to put my forearms onto a block to pause and hold here. Taking a deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. Pushing down with the elbows, lift the rib cage and pull your rib cage and the crown of your head forward as you move your hips back. Okay, to switch legs, just as you did before in all fours, it can be as simple as just right knee back, left foot forward, switching, lessening the amount of time in the transition so you can savor more time in the pose. And again, blocks are allowed. If you want to take this to the extreme, you can stick your tongue out and pull it back in. Stick your tongue out and pull it back in and be the true lizard that you are. Did you know humans are lizards? It's true. Okay, and then switch, right leg forward. This time, lift your back knee and spin your back foot flat like warrior two, but then reach your arms out at a 45-degree angle for what's called down dog lunge position. Push your hands forward, move your hips back. You had no idea what was for lunge today. Try to stretch your body long. And then switch sides. So lift your back heel, step forward, step back, drop your right heel, and then reach your arms out at a diagonal, pushing the hands forward, move your hips back. Try to split your mat in two by pushing your feet in opposing directions. Now, this is when it starts to get fun. So lift your back heel, move your hands back to center, and then step your left foot back, go right foot forward, lower your knee down, and then reach your arms forward and up. Now, being in a lunge position, but we're going to lift the front foot to hover. This is ridiculously difficult, and don't expect to perfect it on the first go. So attempting to hover the whole time, use your arms as a counterbalance to hold you in the pose. Want it more difficult? Bring your hands together in prayer position. 45 seconds is a ridiculously difficult task to hold that pose. right leg back, left leg forward, steady yourself, and then lift your foot. Hovering, can you hold? One of the things I'm doing with the back leg is I start with pointing the toes, but then pull the toes towards the knee so that the front of the ankle lifts, and I grip onto the mat a little bit more. It's a little easier outside when you're on grass. The plant, like lawn, that's what I mean by grass. Okay, then left leg back and right leg forward. Lower your left hand down and then lean forward enough that when you lift your back foot, you roll onto the base of your thigh bone and not your kneecap for a twisted lunge thigh stretch. In terms of poses that do a lot, this is definitely one of them. It's a twist. It could be a shoulder opener on the right arm, a hip opener on the right leg, a thigh stretch on the left, and then you can even lift your chin and turn it into a bit of a back bend. If I could only do one yoga pose from now on, this would be the one I'd choose. Okay, and then switch. Maybe go hands down, right knee back, left foot forward, right hand counterbalances, and then lift. Grab hold of your foot, begin to twist towards the left, bring the heel in, lift your chin, lean back, sink a little lower into your hips, and hold and breathe. There's so much on the menu today for lunge, but sometimes it's nice to just go back to where it all began. So release your foot, hand down, lift your back knee, step forward, step back, just that base position again. Sinking down with the hips, noticing if the legs are fiery, if they're stronger. Option again to lift your front toes, pull your feet towards each other, use your hands to pull your rib cage forward, make yourself long, embrace. Last of the lunges, just about 15 more seconds on this side. Breathing slowly, smoothly, preparing to switch. Push off your back foot to step forward, and then step your right foot back. Last position. Quick practice, but one that can get the legs very warm, very fast. And a good practice to do, even just to warm up the body before you go to a yoga class, or warm up your body before doing other postures like back bends or inversions. So staying strong, breathing deep, one more cycle of breath, but through your mouth. So inhale, and then exhale. And then plant your hands, move back to plank pose, turn your knees to the left, bring your right hip down, roll on your side before rolling onto your back. And the timer will still go at 45 seconds. So these first maybe 20 more seconds here, breathe consciously. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale and exhale. There is so much to choose from in the wide spectrum of physical practice. Experiment. Take the methods that work for you and run with them. The ones that cause issues, soreness, pain, and scrap them. You wouldn't eat the same meal every day if you didn't like it. Relax completely.